Welcome to Jets Overtime, presented by Nissan. Eric Allen and Eric Coleman inside the BetMGM studio. The Jets fell to 0-3 on the year today with a shutout loss in Denver. Eric, was 26-0. Right now, this offense has a scoring problem, and they were dominated by a very good Broncos defense today.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets have played against a couple of good defenses the last couple of weeks, and it's shown. You know, today you look at the secondary of the Broncos, the wide receivers weren't able to get open. That bought time for the pass rush, and you see Zach Wilson on the ground 5 times. So, it's complimentary football. I feel like the Jets have to establish the run to make things easier on the quarterback, and they weren't able to do that today. All
right, let's bring in Anthony back right now. Anthony, Zach Wilson, 4 interceptions last week against the Patriots. He was protecting the football early. His stat line includes 2 interceptions at the end of this ball game, but this team was never able to get in any rhythm today.
How the Jets want to be from an identity standpoint. Eric just had mentioned, running the football. I think that what they want to be is what the 49ers kind of base their offense on. And if you watch them in the last, year and a half, they're going to have about 30-plus touches from the running back situation, running plays, period, that are rushes. So I would say this, and I was talking to you earlier before the show, Eric, is I would say every team in the NFL today that lost had a minimum of less than 20 rushes. If they didn't have a minimum of at least 20 rushes, they probably lost the game. So that has to be said. And I understand you have to move the sticks. You're in certain situations, but I don't really envision Zach Wilson as a pure pocket drop back passer. I really like to see him move a little bit of bootleg action, cut the field in half like we talked in pregame. All those things that you want to do from the pocket will be there, and I think he'll grow into that, and those will be strategically used throughout the season as he gets better. But again, you're trying to get a flow into the game, and I just think for me, early on, with his skill set that everyone values and coming out of college and what he did, those are some of the stronger attributes. So, but establish the run has to be a priority, period. Even if the defense dictates that you know what, we should pass against them. I truly believe you still, with 3 running backs, definitely 2 today, that can get it done, you get that going. You had 150 yards last week. You got to be able to at least get 100 in the game, and they weren't able to do that today.
Yeah, there was one of today's inactives that was Tevin Coleman bursting through last week because the Jets did rush for 150-plus yards against the Patriots, but totally different ball game today. Eric, did you have recollection? Did you have memories of the Patriots game, though? Because much like last week, the Jets weren't doing much offensively, but they were still in the game. It's the middle of the second quarter. You're only down 10-0, and you're in plus territory.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big credit to the defense. I thought the defense came out with a great game plan. They only gave up 3 field goals in the second half. So, they were stout today. Yes, they could have done some things, made some tackles, made some plays here and there to get off the field on 3rd down. But I think overall this defense has been physical. They've been flying around. They need some players to step up and make some plays. But listen, they were on the field for entirely too long. And when you pass the ball, when you don't establish the run, a couple of things that establishing the run do. It gives you 3rd down in short situations, so it makes 3rd down manageable for your quarterback, but it also keeps your defense off the field when you're moving the chains, and that defense needed a rest. It's 88 degrees in Denver, high altitude. The defense needs all the breaks they can get, and offensively, not establishing that run, you never get the momentum, you never get the confidence in the quarterback, and now you're down, and now you have to throw the football, so he puts you in a tough position.
Anthony, the Jets have been outscored 46-3 in the first half this year. Now, granted, Carolina's playing awfully well. They're undefeated. The Broncos are undefeated. And you faced Bill Belichick last week and then Vic Fangio this week and Von Miller. And we talked about that vaunted secondary as well. But what has to change in the opening 30 minutes? Yes, they got shut out today. You need points in the second half too. But listen, for a young team with a rookie quarterback and a first-year offensive coordinator, you can't come out of the gate being behind double digits every week.
you got to move the chains and get first downs. You got to produce more plays for the offense. Eric said it's very simple. Now, how do you do that? For me, it's rhythm passing, right? Get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly, hitches, slants. Again, don't let him stand in the pocket more than 4 seconds at the max if he has to, because that's a danger time when you're getting towards that 3.5, 4 second mark. There was a mixed bag today with 5 sacks in the quarterback. Some of them were, protection situations where a guy gets beat. Some were, okay, you're dropping in the pocket and you're holding on to the football, and, you got to get it out at some point, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And then other times is you got to step up in the pocket. And then when it actually gets out of the quarterback's hands, are you actually catching the football and making a play? And that is an issue too. So there's a lot of different places you can go that you're starting to see, happen some last week and again now this week, where there's a lack of execution, but it doesn't seem smooth. I just go back to the preseason game against Green Bay, and I hate to talk about preseason games, but that first half, there was a rhyme, a reason in what they were doing. And I just felt like there was a flow there. There was some rhythm, movement passes. There was some good runs. Everything they were doing looked really good. And then when you're talking about from a standpoint of just, trying to execute, I just think right now the first 30 minutes, you got to have that bet. Your best 10 plays have to be out of the bag right then and there, because you have to get that confidence for your offense, because right now they can't build on anything.
And sometimes you have to adjust. That was a great job by Anthony Beck right there. Phone call comes in. He doesn't wait a second, finishes his thought. With that being said, we're going to hear a lot more from Anthony and Eric, but let's go to Denver right now and get Ethan Greenberg's take.
Yeah, let's focus on the Jets' rushing attack. Last week, they ran for over 150 yards. Couldn't really get anything established on the ground today here in Denver. Remember, Tevin Coleman did not play this game. Michael Carter got the start. He had 9 rushes for 24 yards. Ty Johnson added an additional 3 carries for 17 yards. So 43 yards between those two guys and Zach Wilson. And like I said earlier, the Jets really couldn't get established on the ground. And then you couple that with the fact that Zach Wilson was sacked 5 times today. That means that he's been sacked a total of 15 times in 3 games. The Jets really couldn't get anything going offensively. And the Jets want to establish that identity up front. It starts there, and for the Jets, couldn't happen today.
Nice job from Ethan right there. We'll be hearing from him because he caught up with Quinnen Williams, who racked up a sack and a half for the Jets today against the Broncos. Anthony, so many directions we can go to right now, but the 15 sacks that Ethan just mentioned, how concerned are you the physical pounding that Wilson has taken early in his career? That's 5 sacks a game right now.
Yeah, again, too much drop back pass. I mean, it's not that he can't do it. It's not that, it's a bad play call. It's just, again, his skill set, and he hasn't seen enough defense right now in the NFL to be trying to look all the way and scan an entire field. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're Joe Burrow. It doesn't matter who you are. And you're seeing a lot of quarterbacks have a lot of bad days. Justin Fields had a bad day today. Trevor Lawrence had a bad day today. These guys can't be standing in the pocket trying to look at 1 to 2 to 3. Again, I talked about earlier. Split the field in half. Roll out. Concepts that he's got 1-2 reads, get rid of it, or he can run. You can't do it every play, but you got to limit yourself in those situations. And again, get yourself in manageable, chain moving situations. 2nd and 6s, 3rd and 5 and less, 3rd and 3s. Those are winnable plays, and that's where I think Mike LaFleur's playbook really opens up, because you got a ton of those plays to get you 3-4 yards. You can even run it in those situations as well. So it just makes you a little more unpredictable in those deals when you have those situations. But right now, just hanging about there and trying to scan the entire field as a passer, as a rookie, it's a lot to ask and a lot to do for young quarterbacks in general across the league, in particular Zach Wilson.
All right, let's go to Bob Wischusen right now, the voice of the Jets, who caught up with the aforementioned Zach Wilson after the game.
Zach, your frustration level, I'm sure it's high. What do you do to try and put a performance, and I think collectively for the team behind you, and move on to next week?
Yeah, it's tough, man, and I think we know there's going to be ups and downs, and it's a tough situation for us right now. But you got to remain confident. You got to go in each week and just think, how can I get better? And you got to understand that we're close. It's the little things, and we just got to be able to have each other's back and ignore what everyone's saying and just keep our room tight and always have each other's back and like I said, just keep that confidence high.
If I'm a Jets fan, though, right now, and I'm asking you what's close, because it's hard to look at the results and say, that to have the confidence that this is maybe close to getting to where you want it to be. So I'm collectively the Jets fans. Convince me as to why it's close and why you think this switch can be flipped and you can make this happen.
Yeah, nobody knows what we go through. Every single day, grinding from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. on all the little details and every little thing. And so to come out here and not execute, not get it done, and not win the game, and just not do very well overall, it hurts. But we see some positives throughout plays, even the negative ones. Of maybe one thing not going the right way or another, and I think it just goes back to getting on that film and just finding out how we can keep getting better and how we can just keep that confidence each and every week.
Everybody involved in this is kind of new at this, right? You're a rookie. You've got rookies with you along the offensive side of the ball. Mike LaFleur hasn't been through this. Robert Saleh hasn't been through this as a head coach. So collectively, with all these folks kind of figuring this out together for the first time, for instance, what did Coach Saleh say to the team after the game?
Yeah, that's just the little things that everyone's just got to give more, and we just got to take it, one play at a time, like we have been in the game. So we got to execute. We got to do what we do in practice, and just keep getting better. It's going to be a process. Every guy on this team wants to win, and they're all hungry to win, and so we just have to keep approaching every single week the same.
And final question, just for you individually, trying to keep your confidence level up, your positivity up. You're the quarterback, so everyone's going to look to you as the leader. How hard is that? What do you lean on? Because obviously, being a rookie, you're going through this for the first time yourself as well.
Yeah, it's tough, and I just got to understand that people are going to hate. I knew it coming here, and I understand the adversity that we're going through, and I expected that. And so, no, nothing's going to be perfect, but I just got to keep tight with my brothers in the locker room and, just keep finding how I can keep on getting better, watch the tape and just keep on trying to do the best I can every single play.
All right, Zach, thanks a lot for the time. We do appreciate it.
Thank
you. You are watching Jets Overtime presented by Nissan. Eric Allen and Eric Coleman inside the BetMGM studio. The final today from Denver. Broncos 26, Jets 0. Zach Wilson just speaking to Bob Wischusen. 19 of 35, 160 yards, sacked 5 times, intercepted twice. He said he knows what's on tap for him and the rest of his brothers in the locker room. A lot of hate from the outside.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that we all have to realize is this is the youngest team in the NFL. A lot of these guys are being put out there and put in positions to make plays, and they just haven't seen these things yet. And so it's important for them to continue to make those corrections, apply them when they come out here on Sundays. And listen, on offense, the blame is not just on Zach Wilson. It's not just on the protection. Everybody has contributed to the lack of offense over here. You talk about receivers not getting open in one-on-one matchups. That creates sacks. Offensive line miscommunications. The quarterback not anticipating throws, kind of waiting and looking down, staring down receivers. This all is a part of being a young player, and I think that this team is going to continue to grow as they watch the film, as they continue to go out there and practice. They are very young. We have to keep that in mind.
Anthony, any surprise today as far as the way the Broncos went about defending against the Jets? Because something that stuck out to me was Wilson said, with Fangio, they are going to make sure that they're not beaten up top. You're not going to get those explosive plays, so you got to take that stuff underneath.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, I didn't see a lot of that, right? So, again, sacks take time sometimes if there's protection, and, you need time in the pocket to do some of the things they were trying to do. Whether it was waiting for something to come open or the time wasn't there. Simplicity sometimes is a damning word in the NFL, right? Because everybody works so hard throughout the week to game plan, to have themselves in a great position to out-scheme another team. Sometimes it's as simple as, okay, they're a cover 2 team, they're a cover 1 team, they get a little movement up front, but they're in this set, and you just kind of run your best plays. Like, run your best plays and get good at them. And sometimes they're going to beat you. Hopefully, most of the time, because you're practicing those best plays, you're going to win more of those plays. And when it comes to passing situations, and in particular when you're talking about a rookie quarterback, okay, just make sure you give him a chance to succeed. I'm not saying he's not having a chance to succeed. I'm just saying in your general game plan, and I'm sure these conversations happen because you know that the OC and Mike LaFleur is having us before the night before say, hey, look, Thursday practice, what play don't you like? What play do you like? We got to move this play up. We got to move these plays down. And you go through the week as well without talking to the quarterback, and you say, okay, or we ran this package, this pass concept. It is not hitting right now. It can win versus their defense, but it's just not hitting in practice. You know what you do? You tear it up and you throw it out, and you live with maybe only 15 passes instead of 16. And again, they're going to have more than that on their game card, just to relatively speaking. So again, it's okay to be simple. It's okay to do that. And maybe they are. Maybe it is being simple. It's a lack of execution across the board. But eventually, if you're having good practices, that usually leads to good things in the game. Now, on the road, fan noise, all that other stuff plays into a factor of it. And, of course, playing a good defense is, playing another top defense. This is the first one. This is the third straight defense that they play that's really good. You've got to have something intact so you can find a rhythm. And right now, if you can't feed off the run, which they couldn't do today, and you're leaning on your quarterback, coming out of that first half, I think it was 2-1 pass to run. That's not a successful formula. Regardless, I would rather see the team go in down 10 or 13 at half, running the ball 16 times and passing 10 than vice versa, because that that you're not converting first downs. The defense is on the field a lot too much longer either. So again, it's just something you got to go back to the tape. The players go back to the film. The coaches also go back to the film and make sure, okay, we can't do this, we can't do that, or we can call this and we can call that.
Eric, the Jets' defense was not perfect today, but I'll tell you what, that score could have been much worse than 26-0. What did you think about the performance of the following individuals? C.J. Mosley, 10 tackles again, just like last week against the Patriots. And Quinnen Williams, it was nice to see him get on the sack board with a sack and a half today.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. C.J. Mosley, he had a great tackle on the goal line where he knocked a guy back. You see it right there. He was very physical. He was all around the field. You can see him communicating with guys. It's great to have that veteran presence in there. And, again, these are all playmakers. Quinnen Williams is a first-round pick. He's a guy you depend on to come out there and make plays. It was great to see him make an impact, being on 2 sacks today, make some tackles for loss, disrupt their offense. The defense was flying around. There's some things that they can learn from, but overall, it was a great brand of football. They were playing hard. They were flying to the ball. They didn't allow too many big plays. It's just they came up short. I feel like they were on the field far too long.
Quinnen Williams, a sack and a half for the New York Jets today. Our own Ethan Greenberg caught up with him after the 26-0 loss.
Here with the Jets defensive tackle, Quinnen Williams. Quinnen, how difficult of a loss was this today?
It was very difficult, man. Just think about all the preparation, all the hard work that we put in this whole week, offense, defense, special team, to be coming to the game and really beat ourselves and make the mental errors that we made, bro. It's kind of difficult, but God give us another opportunity, man. NFL is a long season, man. We 0-3 right now, but we can pull it around. We can turn it around quick and soon, man. So really just focus on the next opponent, man. Like, we look, and this is the one thing that I harp on all the time is, like, for myself, I look at the negative things that I did wrong the game before and try to correct them the next week. I feel like now the whole team got to take that same self-correct, that same constructive criticism, and put it to their own life and look at themselves in the mirror and say, I need to correct this. I need to not have this happen again. I need to make sure I'm on top of this, different stuff like that. So,
I know what the scoreboard says. I know what the record says of this team, but everybody that I've spoken to today seems to have like a little bit of a confidence moving forward. What gives you that confidence that you guys can turn a page?
Because we make our own mistakes, bro. Like, we make a lot of mistakes. So it's saying, like, some games that you look at, the games that we play, man, we should get blown out by 50, 60, all the mistakes that we made. And to have the team that we have, the talent that we have, the leadership that we have is amazing to have. We got guys making plays every single way. We got guys who first time doing stuff, like first time in different situations and stuff. And the longer we go, man, the longer we play, man, the more chemistry we build, the more experience the young guys get. And I can see this thing turning around very soon.
What does it say about this defense that you guys play a full 60 minutes? I mean, I'm just thinking about the end of the game there. Broncos knocking on the doorstep. You guys force a fumble. What about the fight of this defense gives you, or that are you proud of in particular?
Really, the fight of this team, man. That's just as a team, and that's goes to show you the guys that we got. The things that we do good, you see what happens. The things that we do bad, you also see what happens. And the strength of this defense, man, is all automatic. It's just execution. If all 11 of us execute on the same exact page to the best of our ability, I feel like we're one of the best defenses in the country. But if we got 9 people doing the right thing and 2 people making mistakes, you're an average defense in the country. So let's go back to say, like, we definitely got to look at the film, watch the film, and make sure we correct different stuff. Not just correct it, but make sure it never happens again.
Quinnen, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
You are watching Jets Overtime presented by Nissan. Eric Allen and Eric Coleman inside the studio, joined as always by Anthony Beck. Anthony, the Jets got to step it up with these situational football moments. I think about in the first half, Jets are down 10-0. They're in plus territory. They have a 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Wilson completes a ball to Michael Carter. It's a 5-yard loss. 3rd down, flushed out of the pocket, flushed to his left. He throws a very good ball to Corey Davis. Davis has his hands on it. Pat Surtain comes in, I think was credited with the PD. Boom. That forces a 56-yard field goal attempt. Matt Amendola, money, 56 yards. The Jets are flagged for a delay of game, and then before you know it, they're sending their punter on the field.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an execution thing where, you know, from a timing standpoint, it should be there. I mean, that's what it is. So I think from what I'm seeing and what you're seeing from a standpoint of this team is it's all areas right now. And you keep hearing the players talk about they're practicing hard, they're executing, they're doing a lot of great things in practice. And they're going to continue to do that. Fans need to understand, like, these players aren't leaving and, like, not thinking about the loss. I mean, they're going home and they're like, man, give me the film. I need to know what's going on. We need to get in there. The leaders that played well are going to step up. They're going to get in the players. The coaches are going to get to the players, and they're going to give hard, constructive criticism. But at the same standpoint, when you start lumping together really good weeks of practice, eventually it has to translate onto the field. Now, youngest team in the NFL, number 1, rookie quarterback, okay? Got some guys banged up on defense, got some young players at corner. You're going to have the ups and downs of peaks and valleys. A lot of good coverage today, but I'll tell you now, Teddy Bridgewater dropped some nice balls in to give his receivers a chance to make a play, and they did over younger DBs that were in the right spot, just couldn't get into the point to get a PD like Patrick Surtain did against Corey Davis that you just mentioned. So, again, what is the formula for getting those good practices and everything you see that's great and feel good about? So when you go to bed on Saturday and wake up Sunday, you feel like it's going to happen? That's the $1 million question, and that's what head coaches that have been here, and that's what Robert Saleh and his staff have to figure out. And again, it is only the 3rd game. They're 0-3. There's no doubt that nobody wants to be 0-3, but you have to see some build off every week, right? You got to see something be beneficial, in particular on the offensive side, because that's obviously where this team needs to excel, to just get some points on the board, come out faster, you know, don't make key mistakes, and of course have situational awareness throughout the game. So those are the things that we'll be keeping our eyes on. And I think the biggest frustration for fans is they haven't seen it in a while, and now you go into a new season 0-3. There's these expectation levels which come from nowhere, right? Because it's a brand new team and they're young. So it does take time, but you want to see small bits of success that help.
Eric, Anthony just hit the nail on the head. A lot of teachable moments out there. At the end of the first half, Bridgewater has a 3rd and 10 from the Jets 20. He throws to Cortland Sutton, rookie Brandon Echols, who's done a lot of good things, considering he was a 3rd-day draft pick here early in his career, and he's starting on the outside. But he's flagged for a pass interference penalty, and before you know it, Melvin Gordon's in, and it's 17-0.
Yeah, you know, that's part of the learning experience. And as a defense, as an offense, as a team, you can't take turns making mistakes. It has to be 11 guys at one time all doing their jobs, playing within the scheme of the defense, and that's how you get the job done. And that's what Robert Saleh, Jeff Ulbrich is trying to emphasize with this defense. The defense isn't overcomplicated where you have all these exotic blitzes and coverages and terminology. This defense is created so these guys can go out there and show their talents, play full speed with their hair on fire, and get to the ball. It's going to take these young players to continue to learn from their mistakes, to not beat themselves out there on the field, to get off the field in third down, to not make those, to start challenging receivers when the ball is in the air. And I think that all comes with experience. It comes with confidence. And listen, it's going to happen, but you just have to continue to grow and get better.
Final big picture thoughts from both of you. We'll start with Anthony. What would you say your message would be to the fan base right now? Obviously, as a player, you have to put a force field up around you, but obviously the Jets fans very frustrated right now. 2019, this team started 0-7. Last year, of course, started 0-13. Totally new staff, and I don't think they should be accountable for what's happened in the past, but obviously the fans right now so hungry for a winner.
Yeah, just be patient. Take in some of the good things that you're seeing or will be seeing through the season and kind of store them in your memory banks and understand that you're going to have days where it's just not going to look pretty. I can't sit here and tell you that, Zach Wilson won't have a multi-pick game again, or I can't sit here and tell you that, they're going to get, no points in a football game again. I can tell you that, when the good things happen and it looks right, in the meat of the game, when it matters, those are the things you need to absorb and take in. I mean, no one's predicting this team to make the playoffs, to win a championship this year. That would be absolutely ludicrous. But it's all about grasping the positives that you see. Now, you can sit there and say, yeah, well, I've just watched 3 games and I haven't seen any positives. Well, maybe not offensively, but defensively, there's some bright spots. Defensively, there's some things going on where you say, okay, if our offense can put something together and, at least put some drives, get some points, that there's a shot here. We saw that last week against the Patriots when, you had a couple turnovers, defense played well, and you found yourself in a game still, even after halftime. So take the small wins and understand that it is a process. And again, the fan in general, at least the Jet fan, at least from my playing days on, they've seen a lot of turnover. They've seen a lot of new faces, and they've seen a lot of younger teams. Again, you got to rebuild your mind just like the team's rebuilding the team and try to take away some of those positives moving forward.
Yeah, well said. We're going to end right here with Eric Coleman inside the studio. A tough defeat all the way around for the Jets. Former Jet Teddy Bridgewater played a great game. On a personal level, you're happy for a guy like that, everything that he's been able to overcome to put himself in this spot, and he's playing tremendous football. But from a Jets perspective, you got 14 games left. This is a marathon season. This is a young team. They got it handed to them by a very good team today. They'll have opportunities offensively next week against a Tennessee defense that has some holes. But I'll tell you what, the Jets' defense is going to be tested big time by Derrick Henry and company.
Absolutely. And next week, they better put the big boy pads on. Bring your lunch pail because you know who's coming into town. You're going to have to stop the run. You're going to have to be stout against it. The defensive line is going to have to play in Tennessee's backfield. The secondary is going to have to do a great job in man coverage because they're going to be in man. You need that extra safety to come down into the box to run support. You have to make teams play one-handed. I mean, you can't let them come beat you with the run and then complement it off the pass. You have to stop that run, make them one-dimensional, and give yourself an opportunity to get into some third down and longs. But listen, this is a young team. We keep saying it. It's a young team. They're playing hard. The defense is giving you a lot to look forward to, and the offense is going to catch up. Typically in the season, the offense takes a little while to get started. But with this young team, it may take a little longer than you expect. But they are going to get it going. There's a great core here, and I believe in Zach Wilson and these receivers and Coach LaFleur. This is going to be good. It's just going to take time and a little bit of patience. 17
one-game seasons. The Jets will look at the film tomorrow, and then it's on to Tennessee in Week 4 for Eric Coleman and Ethan Greenberg. Tremendous job in Denver. Anthony Beck, great analysis as always. We're signing off from One Jets Drive.